Hello, all my Aries friends. This is Maxine Taylor, and I have your awesome forecast for the month of March 2021. So I know you want to get to it. I know that. Don't talk about it, just do it. Aries, of course. Let's look at all this fabulous action over here. I want to start with the sun, of course. This is the center of life, it's the giver of life. And it's in your 12th house of behind the scenes activities, spiritual communion, um, hibernation, etc. This is a preparatory time because the month before anyone's birthday is a preparatory time for them. By the time the sun enters their sign, they're ready to hit the ground running. And Aries, you lead the pack. So the sun is in your 12th house. You're still in a kind of a hibernation time, feeling like you're perhaps an observer rather than an active participant. On the 20th, the sun moves into Aries, and look out, world. Look out. You don't have to look out. Look out, world. Here comes Aries. Aries says at that point, I'm doing what I want, when I want, how I want, because I want. And Aries is saying, well, I always do that. You're going to do more of it. There are no holds barred. And so you come into your own. And it's almost as if you're making up for lost time. I love this. You're going to say my way or the highway. And you're just going to leap forward. So if you have been in a hibernation mode, you're going to be out there. I know I don't mean you're not going to be social distancing. It means that you're just going to do your thing more. You'll feel like you've been liberated. There you go. Next, I want to talk about Venus, the pink planet. Love, beauty. Uh, in the 12th house, you're dreaming. You're enjoying dreams, maybe watching a lot of movies, all of those streaming services love you because this is a time that you're enjoying your own company more than anybody else's. The day after the sun moves into Aries, Venus moves into Aries. And in the first house is the most personal house in the chart. It's the one that says me first. And so with Venus, the planet of love and beauty and art, it's the lesser benefic. Venus and Jupiter are the two good guys of the zodiac. When it moves into your first house, it's a time for you to beautify yourself. More importantly, it's a time when you fall in love with you. Yeah. And while you're always doing your thing your way, you're really enjoying yourself and you're feeling great about yourself. So enjoy, enjoy. This happens once a year. Don't you love it? Now, let's talk about Mercury. We're still in the shadow of the retrograde Mercury, so it feels like Mercury's retrograde. It's in your 11th house of friends and group activities. And so you've probably been communicating with your friends more, talking to friends. Even though we are um, socially distancing, we can still communicate online, by phone, by text, etc. On the 15th of the month, Mercury moves into your 12th house. And that's where you become more introspective. You keep your ideas to yourself, perhaps. Because remember, when Mercury enters your 12th house, it joins the Sun and Venus. And so what I call the triumvirate, the Holy Trinity, Sun, Venus, and Mercury, that all in the 12th house. And then right around the 20th, the sun enters your first house. The next day, Venus does. And you're saying it's time to hit the ground running. Let's talk about Mars while Mercury is still cogitating. Mars is action, it's energy, it's passion. It's been in your second house. With Mars in the second house, you find that you create more money and you spend more money. It's the flow, right? Wherever Mars is what comes first to you. So it's been in your second house. This is terrific. Um, on the third, it moves out of your second house into your third house. And so when you speak, you're shooting from the hip. The third house tends to get bored easily, and Mars is impatient anyway, particularly in the third house. So you're going to be chomping at the bit. Find lots of different projects to keep you busy so you won't be bored. Makes sense, right? Um, if somebody crosses your path, you may find that you're just going toe to toe with them, particularly as the month moves along, because the sun will be in the first house and Venus will be in the first house. And so you're telling it like it is. And I know, Aries, you're saying, well, I always tell it like it is. Yeah, well, you're going to do it more. Okay. Now, on the 13th, we have a new moon, and everybody has a new moon. In your case, it's in your 12th house of behind the scenes activities. This can be a very spiritual time for you, or simply a time of hibernation, pulling back and retreating. Cool, do that. Because 2 weeks later, on the full moon, when things come to a head, that full moon is in 8 degrees of Libra in your seventh house of partnership or the public. And this is a time when, if you have been indoors, following all the rules set down for by the authorities in the scientific community on how to deal with COVID, this is a time when you're going to want to get out there and deal with people more. Okay? It is, after all, spring, right? So, isn't this terrific? Prepare, because you're ready to come into your own, Aries. So, I hope you enjoy this forecast. If I have not yet done your own personal reading for you, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and I'll be glad to give you either a birth chart reading, or if you prefer, a forecast, because when you hit the ground running, you're going to need a roadmap. So, till we talk again next month, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours.